For gross vehicular manslaughter, felony hit and run, and felony DUI.
The victims are part of a Long Beach cycling group called the Freddies. Each morning, members ride together, sometimes up to 30 miles for exercise and fun. Gil Dotson, a member and also a sponsor of the group, says the man who died was a pastor and father of 4 young children.
Was a pastor of a small church. He married my wife and I a couple years ago, and he's absolutely one of the nicest people in the world. Do anything for anybody, anytime.
He'll be forever remembered because he was such an amazing human being.
The Freddies put up this ghost bike to remember the victims and remind motorists to drive more cautiously. The 2 other cyclists involved in this crash have broken bones and are expected to recover. In Huntington Beach, Sarah Welch, KTLA 5 News.
Shrapnel from a shell fired during the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary show hit a CHP vehicle after the live ordnance exploded over the 5 freeway. That freeway was closed for 17 miles for several hours during the demonstration. When the CHP notified the Marines about the incident, they canceled the rest of the live fire event. Border Division Chief Tony Coronado, a Marine himself, calls the live fire demonstration, quote, an unusual and concerning situation.
A scary scene this morning. A possible rifleman stopped traffic on the 105 freeway. It started on an overpass at Vermont Avenue. A passerby reported they had spotted a man pointing what appeared to be a long gun at motorists. CHP closed all lanes at the Sheriff's Department's request. The suspect fled to a metro station where they were taken into custody. Traffic was reopened 15 minutes later.
The LAPD reports that a dozen adults and 2 minors were arrested Saturday at No Kings protest. In downtown L.A. has arrested a fraction of the 100,000 estimated by organizers to have taken part in the rally. Protests stayed largely peaceful. LAPD says a dispersal order was issued around 7 p.m. near the Federal Detention Center on Alameda. An estimated 7 million people took part in No Kings protests nationwide.
Some 30,000 unionized Kaiser Permanente employees in California, Oregon, and Hawaii are back on the job today following a 5-day strike. Talks between Kaiser and the union will resume Wednesday, followed by a return to the national bargaining table October 28th and 29th. The union is seeking a 25% wage boost over 4 years. Kaiser has drawn the line at a 21.5% wage hike.
A widespread Amazon Web Services outage leads to major disruptions around the world, causing turmoil for untold millions, including some of the internet's most popular customer sites. AWS first reported the problem shortly after midnight, saying its cloud service operations were experiencing issues.
Lindsay Pena has been tracking the outage and high-profile companies who rely on AWS. She is live for us in the news center. Lindsay.
Sharon, Micah, at last check, Amazon says its systems are mostly back online, but there are still scattered reports of problems. The outage went on for the better part of the day, and the impact has been felt all over.
You name it, chances are it was probably affected by Monday's Amazon Web Services outage. More than 1,000 companies and services reporting problems. Alexa, Snapchat, Ring, Verizon, Gmail, Delta, Amtrak, Venmo, and the list goes on and on. The issues even affecting tonight's highly anticipated Game 7 between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. The Blue Jays saying on X that Ticketmaster was impacted.
AWS is one of the backbones of the internet. So many companies host their data and apps on Amazon's cloud servers.
KTLA's tech expert Rich DeMuro explaining how one company can affect so many others.
When one of these servers goes down or a cluster of servers goes down, it impacts millions of services and millions of people worldwide.
At this point, it appears the outage was linked to a domain name system error, which means users are unable to connect to an IP address. It's like dialing a phone number and getting a busy signal.
We've seen a couple of these instances in the past with AWS, and every time it's a similar thing that happens. One of their servers goes down. They've got them in clusters around the nation.
According to AWS, the problem occurred at one of its data plants in Virginia overnight. As the morning went on, the connectivity issues persisted, and experts say the financial impact of today's disruption could total in the hundreds of billions of dollars.
Amazon's not saying there's any sort of indication of a cybersecurity issue in this instance, but it doesn't even take a cybersecurity issue to still impact so many people with an incident like this.
This isn't the first time AWS have suffered a large-scale outage. The last one was back in 2023. That's the latest from the News Center. Lindsay Pena, KTLA 5 News. Micah and Cher.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Local government officials are launching a major investigation into the detention of U.S. citizens by Homeland Security. Mayor Karen Bass and Long Beach Congressman Robert Garcia say they want to know why 170 U.S. citizens have been detained since immigration raids began. They are also planning a separate hearing to look into the arrests of thousands of undocumented immigrants.
And it's important that we say today that what is happening to undocumented immigrants is also happening to U.S. citizens, which means that this can happen to anyone.
We want to understand what they're doing in our neighborhoods, how it is being funded.
We have reached out to Immigration and Customs and Enforcement and also to DHS for comment. They have not responded.
Former LA City Controller Ron Galperin has been passed over for a key oversight role monitoring the city's progress in meeting homelessness commitments. U.S. District Judge David O. Carter has instead named current Controller Kenneth Mejia to serve as a liaison to newly appointed Monitor Daniel Gary, a cybersecurity and data forensics expert. Mejia, who Carter called the, quote, most knowledgeable person on homelessness funding, will help facilitate access to city data and verify progress toward roughly 13,000 new shelter beds and clearing nearly 10,000 encampments as required under the landmark federal settlement.
Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again!
Tonight, fans are still celebrating the historic victory by the Dodgers on Friday night, and now they are anxiously waiting to see which team the Dodgers will face off against, the Seattle Mariners or the Toronto Blue Jays.
KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is with fans at Elysian Park.
I love the Dodgers. Go Dodgers, go blue.
Go Dodgers! Yay!
The Dodgers going back to the World Series for a second year in a row after sweeping the Brewers.
It's great to be a Dodgers fan any day.
Over in Little Tokyo, fans feeling vindicated.
I feel like it reaffirmed our faith in Ohtani. Obviously, we all celebrate him a lot in this neighborhood.
I'm having my husband pull over so that I can get a picture with Shohei.
And what is being called his greatest game ever.
Oh my goodness!
Shohei Ohtani became the first player in history to hit 3 home runs, strike out 10 batters, and pitch 6 shutout innings.
I thought I was dreaming.
Ohtani has done it again! His third!
When he hit the 3rd home run, I was like, that didn't really happen, unreal.
And during that 3rd home run, somewhere in the crowd was David Flores.
Very unexpected. The emotions are still haven't hit home yet.
The ball coming right for him, and he caught it. Back in Little Tokyo at the Olympic shop, Rumi getting ready for all the fans.
We're going all the way. Ohtani, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much, Ohtani.
Well, the game isn't over yet, but we are watching and we are waiting to see whether it's the Seattle Mariners or the Toronto Blue Jays who are going to be playing the Dodgers come this Friday. Reporting from El Compadre, Annie Rose Ramos, KTLA 5 News.
Much more still ahead on the KTLA 5 News at 7.
The clock is ticking. California officials speaking out as the deadline